Welcome to the NKU Sports Show. I'm Trista Hall. On tonight's show, we have a GLVC update, milestones for players and teams, but first, some hardwood highlights. Lady Norse take on Lewis University Thursday night, and Karen Brackman drives from the wing, missing, but Cassie Brandon gets the board, the bucket, and one. Later, Jessie Slack to Brandon, charity strike for her again. And Nicole Coyote drives the lane this time. She lays in the deuce. There's 2 of her 13 on the night. Playing D this time, Coyote with the steal. She takes it herself, 2 more for her. Later in the first, Slack with the J. There's 2 of her 14. Norse lead by 3 at the half. And the dance team's liking this game a bit. They're getting low for it. Hey, Slack's getting low too. Brandon with the bucket and the freebie. Now check out the big man behind the arc. Drano, Angela Healy with the tray, 3 of her 13. The dynamic duo of the night, Slack to Brandon, 2 more for the Norse, and the play of the game. Healy passes full court to D. Eccles. She's fallen out, but goes to Slack off the window. Norse take the W, 73-42.
I think we all worked hard in practice, so everybody was ready to play, and it showed.
And the men take the court, trying to sustain their #1 spot on top of the GLVC. Looking good so far. Billy Fennell hands off to Harrison Morton. He lays it in and gets the easy one. Later from the block, Travis Rasso misses, but De'Aaron Williams tips, and 2. Later in the first, Mark Hawkins from behind the arc. There's 3 of his 7 on the night. And just 1 possession later, Billy Fennell in a wide open lane, 2 of his 6 on the night. Just before the half, Williams with the steal, coast to coast. He's got the most. Fans are loving it. Cheerleaders rah-rah, and hey, even the Prez like that one. Second half starts easy. Dennis Gay guy, give him 3. 3 for 6 from behind the arc tonight. Morton in the middle, he's thinking, he's deciding, and he lays in the easy bucket. Morton one more time, banks the board. He finishes with 14. And the big play of the game, Teague with the outside J, misses, but he grabs his own board and 1. He makes the freebie, and that gives the 70th victory for Coach Beazle. Norse wins 74-68.
I mean, we're not the tallest team in the world, and for us to get as many offensive rebounds as we did down the line showed that we had a lot of heart out there. And I think the guys did a great job out there scrapping for the balls.
Now 999 plus 1 equals Angela Healy. Healy grasped her 1,000th point in a game last week against Missouri S&T when she banked the first Norse bucket of the game. Healy also leads the GLVC in rebounds, averaging 10.1 per game, and she was only the 24th Lady Norse to bank 1,000. And watch out for Cassie Brandon, who isn't too far behind Healy. Thursday night, she broke 700. Brandon was the high scorer of the game with 20 on the night. And keep an eye out for her, too, because she's got a school record just within her reach. With 127 blocks, she needs just 5 more to tie the career high of 132. And the men's cross-country team take the first ever honor of the Fall Sportsmanship Award. The Harriers were chosen among their peers of the GLVC for the team with the best attitude of the season. The Norse placed 16th in their 2nd consecutive trip to the national race and even named their 2nd in history All-American in Zach Kaler. Now looking for some GLVC updates? Here's Brady Labor with news and notes from the GLVC.
Hello, I'm Brady Labor with this week's GLVC update. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump right into it. This week's GLVC Women's Basketball Player of the Week is Katie Bungie from Missouri S&T. The 6-foot senior from Mexico, Missouri notched double-doubles in both of the Lady Miners wins last week over Bellarmine and NKU. For the week, she averaged 15 points and 12.5 rebounds as S&T, formerly known as Missouri Rolla, extended their winning streak to 9 games. As we take a look at the leaderboard around the conference, Amber Shelton from SIU Edwardsville remains the league's leading scorer at 22.1 points a game. NKU's leading scorer Angela Healy, who scored her 1,000th career point last Thursday at Missouri St. Louis, is 9th at just over 14 points per contest. Cassie Brannon and East Carolina transfer Jessie Slack are also in the top 20. Healy leads the conference in rebounding with a 10.1 average, making the senior from Highlands the only women's player in the league to average a double-double. NKU point guard Nicole Quixote comes in at 12th with nearly 6.5 a game. Jessica Keller from Quincy leads the GLVC with 5 assists a game. Quixote, a senior from Newport Central Catholic, ranks 8th with 3.5 a game, and Slack is tied for 13th place. Wisconsin Parkside's Denise Manello is a top field goal percentage shooter on the season, with NKU's Cassie Brannon 3rd at 57%, and Healy tied for 10th. Amanda Gibson from UW Parkside is shooting a blistering 91% from the charity stripe, and Healy's 85% is good enough for 5th place this week. Healy leads the conference in block shots, with Cassie Brannon tied for 3rd going into play this week. Brannon, a junior from Cincinnati's Mount Notre Dame Academy, had 124 career blocks and needs just 8 more to tie the school's career record set by Janet Brungs. Nicole Quixote's impressive 35 minutes per game is 2nd in the league behind Kayla Ming from Wisconsin Parkside. Coach Nancy Winstall should take pride in her squad leading the conference in team field goal percentage, team defensive rebounding, and block shots. Switching over to the men's side, I'd like to congratulate NKU's Dennis Gay-Guy for being named last week's Men's Basketball Player of the Week. The freshman from Ironton, Ohio, set a school record for three-point percentage in a game by shooting 7 out of 8 from behind the arc against Southern Indiana in a game you saw live right here on ICN 6. For the second time in the last 3 weeks, Kentucky Wesleyan power forward Jeff Von Beulah is the Player of the Week. The 6'7", 270-pound senior from Los Angeles averaged a double-double in the Panthers' 3 wins last week. He grabbed a career-high 23 rebounds against SIU Edwardsville and scored a career-high 31 points against Quincy. Wesleyan has won 12 out of their last 13 and is neck and neck with the Norse in the battle for the GLVC Eastern Division. Norman Plummer from Southern Indiana leads the league in scoring, with Von Bulow's teammate Rodney Edgerson nipping at his heels. NKU's 2 leading scorers Dennis Gay-Guy and Harrison Morton are on the list at 19th and 25th places respectively. Von Bulow and Plummer are on the top of the rebounding leaderboard. Lewis Ford's Stefan Bolt joins them as the only double-figure rebounders in the conference, and Quincy's duo of Cameron Murphy and Austin Chapitol round out the top 5. Kentucky Wesleyan's TJ Smith is averaging nearly 7 assists a game. NKU's David McFarland is 9th, and Billy Fennell out of Purcell Marion ranks 11th on the list. There are a lot of great free throw shooters in the GLVC this year, but right now the best is the Norse Scott Bivens. The sophomore out of Holy Cross is shooting an amazing 92.7% from the line. Despite missing 2 games earlier this season, Dennis Gay-Guy is the top 3-point shooter at almost 55%. 2 former D1 players, Vincent Humphrey and Anthony Teague, represent NKU, both hitting at a 40% clip. The only individual statistical category that Coach Dave Beazold might admit to being proud of is assist-to-turnover ratio. David McFarland leads the conference and the nation at 6.5 assists for every 1 turnover. The junior out of Boone County has 65 dimes and just 10 giveaways. Making this even more remarkable for the Norse is that Bivens and Fennell are also in the top 5 in this category. For this week's GLVC Update, I'm Brady Labor.
Well, that's all we have time for, folks. Thanks for watching the sports show. I'm Trista Hall. We'll see you next time.